When we go back to the root of who we are, when we come to realize that we are pure awareness, and within that void and emptiness, it's there that the old narratives and beliefs begin to fizzle away. It's not escapism, like I used to think it was, but reconnecting with who we were before society's indoctrination. It's about unlearning all these false narratives so we can tap into who we are again, our essence, our soul. You notice the patterns, the triggers, all the ways you get pulled into the same karmic situations and people over and over. And yet, it keeps happening. Why? Because intellectual self-awareness alone isn't enough. You can analyze your behavior, understand your patterns, and reflect on all your shortcomings. But if you're not fully present in your body or actually feel your emotions, the karmic cycle repeats. So here's why self-regulation plays a crucial role in ending karmic cycles. So why is intellectual self-awareness alone not enough? Maybe you're self-aware of your shortcomings. For example, I'm not assertive enough. I'm a people pleaser. I care too much about what others think. I give others too much benefit of the doubt. And the list goes on. You know all these things about yourself, yet you still attract the same dynamic again. It's because we're analyzing and not embodying. So why aren't we embodying? Because we are still believing in these old narratives. And these shortcomings becomes automatic survival responses again. Self-regulation helps stop that cycle, but it starts with being aware of our true essence. Being in stillness helps calm the nervous system. So we can make decisions based on intuition and inner knowing rather than pure logic or intellect alone. That is a far more powerful way to tackle life. So what exactly is self-regulation? Self-regulation isn't rigid suppression. It's allowing the body to feel. It's the ability to tap out of the old narratives our mind houses at any moment. Breathing techniques and meditation are conduits for this. A lot of people think it's just a trend or a Zen thing to do. Some might even scoff, thinking that it's too simple for what they're dealing with. But the mind craves intellectualization and problem solving. And this is the cycle we trap ourselves in. We exist too much in the mind and not enough in our body and soul. When we go back to the root of who we are, when we come to realize that we are pure awareness, and within that void and emptiness, it's there that the old narratives and beliefs begin to fizzle away. It's not escapism, like I used to think it was, but reconnecting with who we were before society's indoctrination. It's about unlearning all these false narratives so we can tap into who we are again, our essence, our soul. The mind is addicted to solving puzzles, analyzing the experiences we went through. The what ifs, should ifs, why did this happen? I need to solve this to prevent it from happening again. While it's good to reflect on ourselves, over-intellectualizing without feeling our emotions in our visceral body and nervous system will get us nowhere. The goal is to identify and let go of the cathartic energy that is stored in the body without resistance or intellectualization. So what exactly is cathartic energy? When we talk about cathartic energy, we're talking about the stored emotional and nervous system energy that never had the chance to move through the body at the time of the experience. Trauma, suppressed emotions, old beliefs, survival responses, they don't just disappear because we understand them. They're stored in the body. And when that energy starts releasing, it can show up in ways that people often misinterpret as something going wrong. You might experience sudden waves of emotion, anger, fear, shame, guilt, crying for no real reason at all, shaking, trembling, yawning, sighing, tightness leaving the chest or the throat, fatigue, heaviness, sluggishness, old memories or feelings surfacing briefly. None of this means you're broken, and none of this means you're regressing. This is your nervous system completing what it couldn't complete before. A lot of people panic during this phase because the mind tries to label it as danger. They might be thinking, why am I feeling this? Am I getting worse? Should I be past this already? But these symptoms are actually signs that the old energy, the old beliefs, and the old survival patterns are loosening their grip. In other words, your body is recalibrating. This is why self-regulation matters so much. When you can stay present in the sensations without suppressing them or overanalyzing them, you allow the release to finish its cycle. And once it finishes, it doesn't need to come back the same way. Nothing is wrong with you, and you're not failing in healing. Your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do when it finally feels safe enough to let go. So how is this all tied to karmic cycles? Karmic cycles don't repeat because we don't understand a lesson. They repeat because the same unprocessed energy and beliefs are still living in the body. Self-regulation is like fixing a faulty alarm system. Before it's fixed, the alarm goes off even when there's no danger. You might understand what's happening intellectually, but your nervous system is still dysregulated. So everything feels like a threat. Every time a similar situation or a person shows up, it activates the same nervous system response. The same fear, the same need for approval, the same freeze, fawn, or over-explaining. Instead of walking away, you stay in survival mode. Or maybe the situation isn't exactly like before, but because of dysregulation, you unconsciously sabotage the connection or opportunity. The same stories repeat, just with different faces and settings. When cathartic energy is released, you're not just feeling emotions. You're discharging the survival responses that kept pulling you in the same dynamic. That's why, after releasing this energy, certain people no longer trigger you. The same situations don't hook you emotionally. You stop being pulled to react, to over-explain or overcompensate. Old patterns lose their emotional charge. Not because you force yourself to act differently, but because the body no longer believes the old story. And this is what people miss when they only work at the level of intellectual awareness. They understand the pattern intellectually, but the body is still running the program. So life keeps presenting the same lessons until the nervous system no longer reacts the same way. Once old patterns are resolved on a visceral level, the cycle dissolves on its own. And there's nothing left to repeat. You don't end karmic cycles by sheer effort and willpower. You end them when the body no longer needs to protect itself in the same way. And that's why self-regulation and release are the key. You don't fight the pattern or analyze it to death. You let the body finally release what it couldn't before. I hope you found this video insightful. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching.